Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. And through this channel, I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is to try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us in this challenge for little as $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In the previous video we featured ticker symbol MEGL, also known as Magic Empire Global Limited. This is another stock that went through a recent IPO, and so let's have a look at the chart for today. You can see the stock is up in excess of 20%, closing at $117. But what's interesting about the stock is at one point today it was up well in excess of 100%, and at one point reached a price of $249. So a great opportunity to take profits there. This is certainly a high risk stock. I was featured in yesterday's video. So in today's video we're going to be looking at ticker symbol MMTLP. We're also going to be looking at a new stock that I'm going to be sharing with you, which is going to be IPOing later on this week. So stay tuned for details of that. So one other thing I'd like to share with you before we look at that is a headline, quite a bullish headline today from JP Morgan. And these are 10 reasons they've just shared today for people to be bullish about the market. So let's have a look at this. So hopefully the market has been a little bit kinder, but what they are now saying, JP Morgan, is that valuations appear attractive both in absolute terms compared to fixed income. Elevated cash levels amongst institutional investors, as well as an appetite to begin putting funds to work. So sentiment is currently too bearish, often viewed as a bullish indicator for stocks. So what that basically means, when there is fear in the market, that's the best time to invest. Federal Reserve's hawkishness has likely peaked, so that means we may be reaching the bottom right now, hopefully, of the market before a strong upturn. The US dollar has peaked for the year, likely. Economic slowdown isn't showing signs of a nasty recession, so by definition we might be in a recession. Obviously, you remember definition was changed, but because of the jobs data, it's not what a normal recession would have. Higher income consumers remain resilient, so they're still doing okay. Earning estimates on the street unlikely to be marked down aggressively, so they've been mixed, but we've had some good earnings as well. Excess savings built up during the pandemic are still providing a cushion to consumer spending, so that's quite a good point. And finally, the global economy will unlikely see a synchronized downturn, so quite a bullish forecast there. So before we make a start on ticker symbol MMTLP, what I would like to do is share a very interesting post today. This is a YOLO post that I saw on the Wall Street Bet, so I think I'm going to share this with you. I'm actually going to share it with you as an example of how not to trade. But let's have a look at whether or not this person has been successful. So this is a post on Wall Street Bets. I'm not going to read out the name of the person or the username, but the headline, what he stated here, is took out a $27,000 loan and went all in on BBBY. So let's now have a look at his average price. So what he posted today is he's gone in 27,000. At time of editing, he was down $7. His price is $10.26, so he's gone in very, very heavy. He's done something that nobody would advise anybody to do, and lo and behold, good news for this particular person. I'm not going to read his name out, but the stock was up in excess of 39% today at $11.41. So if anyone is aware of that person, who he is, let's find out if he's cashed in or if he's still YOLOing. So I'm going to start by having a quick update on ticker symbol MMTLP. There was a headline here from the Midland Reporter Telegram with regard to the university land. So let's see what we can pick up from this article from August 6, 2022. So the headline here is University Lands adapts as it manages West Texas acreage. So in this acreage that the university lands, we're also looking at the Permian Basin. So that will be relevant certainly for NextBridge. Let's see what we can pick up in this article and see if there's anything important with regard to the company. So what we can see here is the university has approximately 1.6 million acres under lease, and they also have thousands of leases, hundreds of operators at work on the university lands. So as far as we're concerned, the one we're interested in obviously is Nextbridge. So the agency has also said there is a deadline where operators are obligated to drill and complete wells within a certain deadline. So as far as we're all concerned, Nextbridge has complied with these deadlines. It has completed the drilling successfully. That's certainly what they have stated in the S1 as well. So here the university acknowledging that the industry is facing issues with supply chain bottlenecks, labour shortages, and this could obviously hinder some of the drilling that is going on. And in the final part of the article, I think that is probably most relevant to Nextbridge is that at the bottom, and that is first of all with regard to the university. So the quotation here is, someone has an issue, we don't have dollar signs in our eyes and say in the moment pay us or lose the lease. So there's certainly no issues with regard to the university threatening any non-compliance with the company and say basically losing those rights. So it goes back to being for the public, let operators work efficiently and not let projects die on the vine. So this is good news. So as far as the university is concerned, if going forward there are any issues with the drilling, the company should not be at risk of losing the rights to the mineral assets. So hopefully good news long term. What I'm now going to do is share with you a stock that's going to be going through an IPO this week, and this is details of this have already been shared in advance in the Discord. So to get advanced notification of IPOs and other breaking news with regard to stocks, you can join our Discord. But let's move on to have a look at the company description. So ticker symbol FRZA doesn't exist yet, it will exist soon. So in terms of the company profile, it's also known as Forza X1. The mission is to inspire the adaptation and sustainable recreational boating by producing stylish electric sport boats. So the company is focused on creation, implementation of electric boats, utilizing EV technology to power and control boats and proprietary outboard electric motor. So obviously this is, we're normally used to stocks in the EV sector. So this one is more in the electric boat sector. Let's now have a look at the specifics with regard to the IPO and details shared with NASDAQ. So we can see here the proposed symbol is FRZA. Company name is Forza X1 Incorporated. It's going to be hopefully be trading on the NASDAQ. And this is the information that you'll be certainly of interest to you if you are certainly looking to speculate for this and make a potential investment. The share price being proposed is $5. In terms of the company, we can see here obviously it's going to be a small company, only 9 employees. The paperwork has been filed. In terms of the shares offered, if you see the number there, it is only 3 million shares, so not a huge amount. The offer amount is $17,250,000. Shares over allotted 450,000, and obviously we have the company website there as well. And the other details here in terms of the fiscal year end for the company is going to be the 31st of December. Total offering expense, we're looking at 1,125,000, and finally shares outstanding just approximately 10 million. So let's now have a look at some more specifics with regard to the company in more detail. So second paragraph down here with regard to the company, they're looking to specialize in the creation, implementation and sale of electric powered boats. The company is reimagining how people interact with maritime surroundings. Obviously we've seen a huge play on the EV sector, so this could be something that is in the future could be huge in certainly in the area of boats. So what we can also see in additional details here, what does Forza do? So according to the S1 that they've filed with the SEC, they are a design and manufacturer of electric powered boats. They use the EV technology that obviously already exists to control and power the boats. Further management states that electric boats are being designed as fully integrated electric boats, including the whole outboard motor and as well as that the control system. So further on down, the company has also entered into a supply agreement to supply the lithium battery packs that will use to power the electric boats. They are looking at production of 2 FX1 electric boats, commencing selling to end users by the second quarter of 2023. So obviously that indicates to me they're not generating revenue yet, so they're in the early stages, but they're looking at second quarter of 2023, so that represents approximately 1 year from now. I think the key information that most people want to know now is when is the IPO date. So we've certainly seen what's happened with the IPO with regard to MEGL and also with regard to HKD. So this is one that a lot of people in the Discord will be keeping an eye on. So here's the date for you. So the name on the IPO calendar in terms of the date is going to be August the 11th. So it's going to be under ticker symbol FRZA. Shares will trade on the NASDAQ. And in terms of what we're looking at in terms of the price, the distribution is going to be 3 million shares and the start price is going to be $5 each. So further details with regard to how to buy this was shared in the Discord. So let's now have a look at what the analysts are saying. So obviously it's a very, very small company. It's regarded as a nano cap IPO. So we've seen the number of employees is very small. The float is very small. So obviously the company is looking at making waves, excuse the pun there, with regard to the local news scenes where the business may represent a positive impact. So going forward, they're stating here they're expecting to create 170 jobs with an average annual salary just in excess of $51,000 or a little more than over $10,000 more than the average going forward. So certainly very ambitious here going forward. And finally, to finish off, I'm going to share with you a little bit of information with regard to the financial history and potential. So in terms of the financials, obviously the company is not going to be making any profits because we can see here they have 0 sales. Operating expenses just in excess of $263,000. Net loss just in excess of $270,000 in terms of the balance sheet. The company do have assets just in excess of $2.23 million. And also that includes $1.8 million in cash or cash equivalents. Liabilities are $690,000. So the good news there is the company has got enough cash to go forward, and obviously is in the short term certainly able to survive. I think going forward long term they will need more cash, and IPOing on the NASDAQ will be an opportunity for them to do that. So finally, with regard to the potential in terms of if they can achieve their goals, they're looking at the federal government obviously hopefully helping them out. They're looking at declining purchasing power of the dollar being a problem. All of 2021 and 2020 certainly had a negative impact, but going forward certainly very ambitious. Finally, just before finishing off, I'd like to give a quick shout out again to 3 stocks that we shared within the weekly watch list amongst many others. So on the screen here we shared with the Discord members prior to trading today, ticker symbol ATNX. So we can see here if anybody managed to get in that one, you could have got a positive return of just in excess of 15%. We also called out ticker symbol CPS, and there was a 10% gain on that. And the best call out of these 3 so far is ticker symbol BNSO. So there's an opportunity there to get a 65% returns. But obviously the big call that we made was ticker symbol MEGL, and returned there potentially in excess of 100%. But obviously that was a very, very high risk stock. So to get advanced notification and get access to the full weekly watch list, certainly consider joining the Discord. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.